Okay, we've got our podcast done, and now what I'd like to do is to post these podcasts that I've been sharing with you out in my Blackboard course. So, I'm at my video podcasting course, and I'm going to click on Activities. So I'm going to add a podcast as an activity. So I'll simply come down to Build Content and go to Video. Click on Video. I'm going to browse my computer. Now, I've put all of our podcasts into a folder called iMovie Videos, and it's right on my desktop. And I'm going to add exporting Keynote images. So we'll click on that to select it and click on the Open button. Now I have to give it a title. And I can change the color of the link, and I'm going to change it to something that kind of goes along with the theme here. Let's go with, a dark green. And I'll click Apply. My dimensions are original and custom. I'll stay with original. Auto start. I discourage you from using auto start. What will happen is that the minute you go to whatever web page this video is on, it automatically starts to play. And I'm going to put more than one video there. Can you imagine the noise of all of those podcasts starting at once? So I'm going to leave it at no. Loop means it will repeat. Once it's finished, it'll start again, and it'll just keep on going, looping over and over and over again. Yuck. I'm going to leave that no. And add alignment to content. I'll leave it blank. I'll leave it no. Okay, do I want to permit users to view this content? Absolutely. Now, when might I click no on that? Well, when I'm working ahead of the class, and I don't want to confuse them by making things visible that I don't want them to necessarily be using yet. And so then I would click it no, but you've got to remember to come back and click yes, or they'll never see it. Track number of views. You can keep track of the statistics by clicking yes. Who looks at it? How many times do they look at it? When do they look at it? And so on. I'm going to leave it no. Even though that's interesting data, I rarely have used it. Then we have a select date and time restrictions. I can click to display it after a certain date or until a certain date. And I can give it a range. But I'm just going to make it available. So let's click Submit. Now, this is going to take a little bit because we are uploading our podcast. And the podcast is a pretty large file. Now, this one has some screencasting in it, some actual live video. And that is a huge chunk of data. So I'm going to pause and we'll come back when it's done. Okay, we're finished. Let's test it out. We'll click the play button on our little player. And there's our video. Students can control the volume. They can make it full screen. And they can pause. That is really all there is to it. Now, if you're not using Blackboard, you can still post your podcasts in much the same way. The menus will look a little different, but you can get it done. And if you have any questions, send them to me.